Hi, I'm attorney Chris Reich, and in this video I'm going to discuss the difference between defensive driving school and traffic survival school. So we see a lot of confusion between these two classes when we talk to clients. Most people, they don't have a history of taking a lot of traffic school classes, fortunately. So Arizona has two different classes. I'm going to talk about defensive driving first, then we'll talk about traffic survival school. So defensive driving school is a diversion program. It's explained in the Arizona Revised Statute, so it's a statutory provision. And basically it means that if a driver is charged with a civil moving violation, they can typically take defensive driving school in order to get that charge dismissed. Now, there are a few exceptions where you can't do defensive driving school, but generally if it's a moving violation and it's civil, not criminal, you can take defensive driving school and that will result in the charge getting dismissed. And it's not discretionary. The court has to dismiss the charge if you timely take defensive driving school. And what does timely mean? Well, that means you have to take defensive driving school at least 7 days before your next court date. So if you're looking on your traffic ticket, it has a date that you have to appear on court. Let's say it's April 30th, and then you have to complete that class before April 23rd. Otherwise, you would have to ask the court for an extension. Most courts will give you at least one extension to complete that class. And the reason they want that 7 days is procedurally what happens. You pay a class provider for the class, you take the class, then when you complete the class, that class provider notifies the court by sending them a check for, $100 and some odd. Basically the court's share of the fee you paid to take the class. So the court's still getting some money from you, even though you're not paying a fine for the ticket. But that's how the court finds out that you completed it. And then once the court gets that notice, they will dismiss the ticket. Like I said, you do not pay a fine. So defensive driving school it's a diversion program. You're doing that instead of paying a fine, instead of getting found responsible for that violation. Take the class, charge will get dismissed. Nothing's going to show up on your driving history. It's not going to impact your insurance. And you can take defensive driving school for a violation once every 12 months. So that's your time window. It kind of resets after those 12 months. Traffic survival school, it's not a diversion program, it's more of a punitive measure. A couple scenarios when you're likely to see traffic survival school. One, if you're found responsible of a red light or stop sign violation, when you're found responsible, the court's going to then notify the Arizona Department of Transportation, Motor Vehicles Division, MVD, that you were found responsible. Then MVD is going to send you a letter that says you have to go attend this 8-hour traffic survival school class in order to avoid a license suspension. Now, whereas defensive driving school can be taken online or in person, traffic survival school has to be taken in person. Another situation where we see traffic survival school is accumulation of points. Now, I've got another video about points and some information on our website about that, so I'm not going to get into how you get points or how they're calculated or anything, but if you get too many points on your license in a particular period of time, MVD is going to send you a letter saying go to the traffic survival school or we're going to suspend your license because you have too many points. Third situation where we see traffic survival school is for some serious criminal moving violations. Now, traffic survival school gets a little confusing. Every time you get a red light violation, so you could get two back to back, you get the first violation, and a week later you get a second violation. Those are going to each generate their own traffic survival school order. So you're going to have to go twice to avoid a suspension from those red light tickets. Now, it's a little different with a points violation. With a points violation, you're going to get that letter saying go to traffic survival school to avoid a suspension, unless you've already done traffic survival school in the previous 24 months. Then it's just going to go straight to a suspension. With a points suspension, there is a limit, or points assignment to traffic survival school. You can only utilize that every 24 months. But if you've done traffic survival school for a red light violation, and then you get another red light violation and another one, they're just going to keep sending you to traffic survival school because that's just how that works. But so if you get a red light violation, you go to traffic survival school, and then you get too many points, it's going to go straight to a suspension. So that's the difference between defensive driving school and traffic survival school. Defensive driving school is a diversion program that usually results in getting the charge dismissed. I made another video about some exceptions to that. And then there's traffic survival school, which is a punitive program if you've gotten a particular type of violation or if you've accumulated too many points.